I have a problem with K-pop Demon Hunters. As long as humanity has existed, we've imagined demons and we've yearned to hunt them. We have told countless demonic stories that have led us to this very moment, the dawn of demon boy bands. How the hell did we get here? Don't get me wrong, I love K-pop Demon Hunters. It has stunning animation, infectious music, and it's taught a whole generation to want to take down demons, to rip and tear demons, to love them? K-pop Demon Hunters has left me confused. On one hand, it portrays demons as beasts to be annihilated. On the other hand, they seem strangely human. Are demons meant to be saved or slaughtered? Across cartoons and mythology, I found 6 key portrayals of demons that K-pop Demon Hunters builds upon in order to solve the Demon Hunter dilemma. So grab some hamburger ramen and get ready for spoilers for these pieces of media as we dive into humanity's complex relationship with the demons. Demons? Devils? Fiends? Okay, wait. Which of these characters is actually a demon? The pointy-horned imp? Sure, but the pink-haired anime girl? How about Genu or this bunny guy? Depending on your definition, all of them are demons. According to Merriam-Webster, a demon is an evil spirit. Done. We did it! Yippee! Well, not really. Only one of these characters is actually spirit-like. Maybe demon is just a synonym for a devil. Pointy-horned servants of hell and the big man downstairs. Yet many of these devils or demons don't necessarily serve a satanic figure or even really come from hell. And in some pieces of fiction, demons and devils are completely different creatures, such as in Dungeons and Dragons. In truth, the concept of a demon is much more nebulous than you'd expect. According to Wikipedia, a demon is a malevolent, supernatural entity. For now, that's the definition we'll be running with, grouping together demons and devils and dangerous spirits. And in this video, we'll look at creatures that fit that mold, or break it entirely. Speaking of, the demons in K-pop Demon Hunters don't physically resemble the demons we expect in Western pop culture. Instead, the film conjures creatures inspired by Korean folklore to create something new. They're the goblin-like Dokkaebi, various types of Guishin, and the Saja boys themselves resemble the Korean Grim Reaper. Yet, these demons are complicated. While most are openly malevolent, there are moments of humanity that we glimpse in them. In the film, we follow Rumi, Zoe, and Mira, the idols of Huntrix, a girl group who moonlights as demon hunters in Korea. We follow their quest to kill Guima's demon hordes and restore the Han Moon, a magical barrier between Earth and the demon realm. Demons are clearly bad. They hijack planes and try to steal souls. However, the folkloric entities these demons are based on aren't necessarily evil. The Korean term Guishin does not mean the same as demon. Rather than denoting a malevolent beast, Guishin just means the ghost or spirit of a person. Dokkaebi are more like tricksters than hellspawn. Even the Josung Saja don't outright kill people. Instead, they guide souls to the afterlife. This paper by an independent researcher has noted that in Korean Protestant Bibles, the term Guishin has been misused to refer to demons, leading to this shift in belief. Many Korean Protestant Christians now consider the traditional concept of Guishin, or ghost in English, as completely evil. And it's strange. Back to the English word demon, it evolved from the Greek word daimon, which doesn't have a negative connotation. In mythology, a daimon was simply a spirit or lesser deity, but eventually, this word got conflated with Christian ideas of heathen gods or unclean spirits, evolving into something monstrous. In the fires of human culture, Guishin and daimon have both been forged into this malevolent catch-all of demonic. K-pop Demon Hunters reflects this overarching shift from portraying spirits as neutral to casting them as malevolent demons. But if KDH's demons are meant to be solely malevolent, why do we see glimpses of them being cute, sympathetic, and redeemable? Surely there's gotta be a chance for them to be saved or something. Rip and tear! So, you wanna kill the demon? Well, step right up. Lucky for you, I've got an easy program on how to kill demons in 5 easy steps that warlocks do not want you to know. There are hot demons in your area, and this is how you smite them back to the hellhole from whence they came. Step 1. Utilize holy items. Hellspawn are burned by the mere presence of holy water or holy relics. Go ahead and load your super soaker with the blessed water of a religion of your choice and show imps who's boss. Step 2. Exorcise them. Get your local priest to spit some holy verse and expel that demon that has taken hold of someone's body. Step 3. Guns, swords, steel. Looks like traditional methods aren't gonna cut it. Then you're gonna need something more, persuasive. Bring in the artillery, the super shotguns, and holy smites. Step 4. Reflect on the nature of evil. Guns run out of bullets, prayers fall flat. Perhaps these demons are just physical manifestations of inner desires we have left unchecked. Maybe through coming to terms with our own sins, we can destroy these symbolic homunculi made of our own fears and... Or just use step 5. What? Singing. While all these other methods are certainly entertaining, it is glorious to see Huntrix dominate the battlefield while using weapons in tandem with the power of song. And in Korean history, there actually were shaman-like figures called mudang, who employed dance and song as part of their everyday battles against dark spirits. One of the prime ways demons are portrayed are as foes to be vanquished in battle. Oftentimes, demons and devils make for powerful boss battles. They're monsters that are inherently terrifying and brutal to fight. Other times, demons become fodder in battles. Alongside goblins, robots, and zombies, demons are often one of those groups of characters that media will use as minions that you can mow over without remorse. But why? Okay, maybe that's a stupid question. It's because they're evil. Games like Doom revel in the pleasure of decimating hordes of demons, because they're unequivocally evil. In these portrayals, demons act as something completely inhuman. Why deal with the complicated morality of killing humans when you can have demons? Instead of moral quandaries, the game can focus on just creating visually interesting and mechanically entertaining monstrous demons to fight. Demons are adaptable, allowing for different abilities and tactics in fighting them each time. And in a strange way, the rhythm of destroying demons becomes almost therapeutic. However, this framing of the demon as a physical entity that can be directly hurt and slain with weapons does not encompass all demons. While the fight scenes of K-pop Demon Hunters and the intense rhetoric of Takedown show Huntrix's attempts to destroy demons violently, the film shows that demons can be subtle, able to kill you from the inside out. I've talked about demons as folklore and demons as fodder in battle, but the third type of demons are demonic spirits, or possessive manipulative entities. Ones that steal souls and puppeteer bodies. The demons of K-pop Demon Hunters employ different tactics that are similar to possession. Guima is able to speak directly into the minds of demons like Jinu, empowering his shame. And the Saja Boys are able to brainwash entire crowds with just pop music. It's presumed that demon magic has a sway on the mind, casting a haze over crowds and brainwashing them. Yet, funnily enough, it seems that even without magic or being a real band, they're able to top the charts in the real world. The most effective demon is marketable. It's one that can exist alongside us, or even within our minds. In horror movies like The Exorcist or Hereditary, ancient demons take over human bodies in order to deliver harm, striking terror in the characters and in the audience. There's something so sickening about the way demons can take over bodily autonomy and use us like puppets. Alongside the horrific idea of a demon possessing your body, demons can also take your soul. In KDH, demons do this by sneaking behind innocent victims, then opening their mouths to inhale the very essence of a human. One of the mysteries of K-pop Demon Hunters is, what happened to all those lost souls? Were they returned once the Hanmoon was restored? They didn't really have a scene like that in the film. Were they all burnt away within Guima's fiery body? If so, K-pop Demon Hunters becomes a much more terrifying film. Hundreds of people suddenly missing, innocent lives suddenly done. What is happening is a brutal massacre of humanity, with only 3 musicians on the front lines. If demons are creatures who have chosen to align with Guima, then they surely deserve to be destroyed. Yet, we of course see Jinu break out of his allegiance to Guima. And Rumi, after all, is a half-demon. Was her father also a demon capable of love? To alleviate these questions, we have to figure out how human the demons of K-pop Demon Hunters really are. If demons can possess or take on human forms, how do you know who is a human and who isn't? We'll just find the people pouring coffee on plants. In K-pop Demon Hunters, it's clear that many demons don't understand human customs or technology. Somehow they're smart enough to get the plane off the ground, yet they struggle with seatbelts. But we clearly see the Dokkaebi type of demons have the ability to take on human forms. And rather unsuccessfully, they try to mimic human patterns. Meanwhile, the Saja boys seem to be demons who much more effortlessly take on attractive human forms that directly appeal to the idol archetypes that different fans would be attracted to. The muscular Abby, the maknae baby, the traditional Korean male celebrity Jinu. And to the rest of the world, these human forms actually work in swaying the masses to trust them. This portrayal of demons reminds me of the anime Frieren, where demons are essentially humanoid mimics. You know, those D&D monsters that pretend to be treasure chests but actually have big old teeth. Demons look human, sound human, and to an extent know how to act like humans. But at the end of the day, they are not humans. Barely a human-shaped shell, hiding something much, much darker. There are several different demons throughout the Frieren anime. There's Qual, who is the more straightforward type of demon, relentless in his use of Zoltrak, a direct offensive spell. However, this demon comes from a much older time in the world. In the present era of Frieren, demons have adapted to look like humans. They will go to extreme lengths to garner sympathy, such as by acting like envoys of peace, as shown by the case of Lugner and his allies. Frieren as an anime makes it very clear that demons are not meant to be redeemed in any way. Frieren, who has slain dozens and dozens of their kind and helped defeat the tyrannical demon lord, is relentless and shows no mercy. However, in the show, it still takes the time to show the moral hesitation that everyone else in the world has around killing these mimics. Time and time again, human characters are shown to try to make peace with demons. But demons aren't people in this world, and every time humans trust their disguises, the demons eventually reveal a ruthless, soulless, true nature. The show is clearly commentating on the trope of the benevolent demon. We as humans do instinctively trust things that look human. There is a blind hope that anything human-shaped can become human through empathy. But that empathy is exactly the weak point that these types of demons target. Demons are less like people with concepts of good and evil and closer to wild predators or pure forces of nature. It's in their source code to kill, and taking on human traits is simply the most efficient way of continuing their slaughter. They're almost like machines or viruses, and when they die, they don't leave behind a corpse but simply dissipate as if they were never there. In conversation with this type of demon is the portrayal of Jinu. He isn't heartless. His connection with Rumi does seem to come from a genuine place of sympathy, and he was a human before. While he does betray her at first and devise this plan in order to help Guima, unlike the mimics of Frieren, he ultimately does have a human soul, one that he sacrifices for Rumi. While the rest of the Saja boys just seem like stereotypes of K-pop idols, Jinu is different. While we only get a little bit of the Saja boys' personalities, if Jinu is truly a person hiding a well of humanity deep below, how do we know the Saja boys aren't the same? What about the rest of demon kind? Are they just as human, just slaves coerced by Guima? Are demons people? The fifth portrayal of demons we need to consider is one of demons as people. Not total monsters, but genuine human-like beings deserving of empathy. In games like Dungeons & Dragons, one of the popular races to play are tieflings. And while they aren't necessarily demons, they are touched by fiendish ancestry and have large demon horns. But they're not aligned with demons or devils necessarily. Like any other race, their morality is a spectrum, and each individual tiefling has their own story to tell, despite prejudice they might face for their appearance. We as a culture are enamored by the idea of demons acting like humans. Games like Helltaker feature cute demon girls who are flawed but dateable. And shows like Lucifer humanize the devil himself. The trope of the half-demon character especially encourages this idea of humanity's love for demons as people. Such as in Devilman Crybaby, which features both ruthless demons and Devilman, which are part human, part devil. While Devilmen are driven to pursue destructive desires, they can break free from them. The main character, Akira, is known as a crybaby due to his deep empathy for those suffering around him, even when he becomes demonic. In this world, demons exist in the shadows, but one day the veil is dropped. Humanity discovers that demons exist and are slowly waging war on mankind. However, in their panic to survive, the witch hunt begins, as neighbors accuse neighbors of being half-demons and hiding, leading to even more senseless violence. Akira's demon side brings him to extreme acts of lust and violence, but ultimately, his empathy leads him to try to rescue others, specifically those who are targeted by anti-demon hysteria. In both Devilman Crybaby and K-Pop Demon Hunters, characters suffer because of an overly simplistic view of demon morality. Devilmen are seen as dangerous evils, even if they still are quite human. And demons in KDH are called demons with no feelings who don't deserve to live. Rumi even believes this idea against herself. Celine taught the girls to believe in this black and white morality, even seemingly not being able to fully love Rumi just because of this demonic pattern on her. Through this indoctrination, Huntrix becomes its own worst enemy. Rumi is taught to dehumanize her demon half, and she cannot trust herself anymore, putting up walls. In return, Mira and Zoe cannot easily trust Rumi, failing to see humanity in someone they have known for so long. While demons can be physical or spiritual threats, often their presence in a story is representative of a greater evil inherent to a society. We live in a society? Monsters represent different anxieties in a society. Zombies can represent a fear of contagion or mass consumerist culture, while ghost stories reflect our uncertainties around death. The demon, having so many different types of portrayals, represents many different things. The possessive demon represents our fear of losing control to vices and sin. Fiery demons initiating doomsday represent our fear of the end of the world and greater threats ruining our lives. In the anime Chainsaw Man, devils are tied to fear. They spawn as physical embodiments of humanity's collective fears, and are empowered when more dread enters society. As long as a fear of a concept exists, the devils forged from that concept will remain. The demons of KDH seem to represent a specific kind of fear, a fear of shame, of being beholden to something wrong in you and looked down upon it for the rest of your life. With Jinu, we see that he made the choice to sacrifice his family for a better life. With Guima goading him on, it's likely his choice is the key moment that led him into becoming a demon. As for Rumi, the half-demon, her shame is internalized because of how she has been taught to view her demonic markings as something not deserving of love. She's a demon, but in a way, the greater demon is society, destroying her own trust in herself. And with this, we have all 6 types of demons collected. But what does this mean for K-Pop Demon Hunters and its ending? When I finished watching K-Pop Demon Hunters, I was amazed, but there was a small part of me that felt unsatisfied. A small part of me that wanted to rewrite the ending. There are lots of people who wanted Jinu to survive and live happily with Rumi, but my concern was more with the fate of the rest of demonkind as a whole. There are 2 main arguments around KDH's ending and the treatment of demons. The first perspective argues that Huntrix sealing the demon world and leaving all demons contained in that separate place was cruel. Although demons can be violent, they have been shown to have human emotions, to be deeply influenced by Guima's power, and to be able to be redeemed or even have kids with a human. Some people feel that the movie was working its way towards freeing demons from Guima's control, and that Jinu accepting his shame and sacrificing himself for Rumi was the key step towards some sort of greater salvation. Whether that meant them being simply uncontrolled or able to pass on to an afterlife. And when I watched the film, this was my initial feeling. Rumi was a half-demon, but capable of so much good. Couldn't the other demons be saved too? If I were to rewrite the ending of the film to be more in line with this idea, then things would have ended with destroying Guima. Picture a glowing Han moon sending shockwaves directly into the Fire Lord himself, and as Jinu sacrifices himself, the music of Huntrix grows strong enough to free the demons from his control. Sure, some will still turn to evil, but many now have the chance to move towards good, or towards rest. But the second viewpoint argues that this reading misses the point of the film entirely. Jinwoo had committed great evil. He lied to Rumi about the truth of his misdeeds, and in the end, they were greater than expected. While Guima certainly manipulated Jinwoo and possibly all demons, Jinwoo's situation shows that he made the choice to do bad. It wasn't Guima forcing him, but the folly of human greed. And he was continuing to choose evil over good, just to get a method of removing the memories of his worst sins. The rest of demonkind had chosen to do evil and steal souls. Rumi's overall arc wasn't about coming to love Jinwoo or to find love for demonkind, it was simply to realize her own inner darkness and come to terms with her own possibility of being trapped too deeply in shame. It was about accepting herself, renouncing her shame, and choosing to do good despite her problems. Just because Jinwoo was able to turn good in the end, doesn't mean that every demon out there could be redeemed and convinced to stop their war against humanity. Lives had been taken in this war, and in this war, fighting off invaders and building the Han Moon as protection was the most logical thing to save the most humans. So, which of these takes is the right one? Let me know down below, but I think they're both kind of valid. Demons can be sympathetic to an extent, yet in this world, they're still monsters. Maybe that's anticlimactic, but as we've looked at demons of all kinds, it's clear that the demon as a figure in myth is meant to be an anchor for moral ideas. The demon is a monster that humanity colors with different moral viewpoints, depending on what the story needs, and depending on what we need from the story. When we want the simplicity of fighting an absolute evil, demons are just fodder. When we want the moral complexity of finding goodness in seemingly evil entities, demons become people. And when society has become a complicated world driven by dividing ideologies where basic truths are argued upon, the demons of a modern movie like K-Pop Demon Hunters represent both sympathy and shame, a relentless evil and an intimate one. The solution isn't as simple as freeing all demons or killing all of them, but it lies somewhere in the middle, fighting off the violent demons in the world, but also dealing with the inner demons of shame that live inside our hearts. And that's definitely something worth singing about. It's crazy how deep a quote-unquote kids movie got. If you enjoyed hearing me yap about sympathetic demons, you should definitely check out Sympathy for the Immortal next.